We've got a very special conversation lined up on ET Now today. Albert Almeida, the COO of live entertainment of BookMyShow, joining us on this leg of the broadcast. Let me first begin by asking you about business. There's a halt on ticketing as well as the events business due to COVID-19 coronavirus. What is the impact that you see for a company like BookMyShow? And of course, how has COVID-19 altered the growth plans for BookMyShow?
This has been an unprecedented time. The pandemic, as we all know, has been a tough one, and probably for the first time, it's not just us, but the entire world has come to a pause. And with this pause mode, the impact has been incredible, and incredible because it doesn't distinguish between caste, creed, business, and most businesses have been impacted and come to a grinding halt. And as you would know, if we're locked down, there is no out-of-home entertainment. And therefore, we are also on a complete pause. Having said that, Ruchi, I think we are fortunate as a company to have such a large band of loyal consumers use us as their go-to for all things entertainment out of home. And we were very, very quick to take steps in actually pivoting. So while we had to put a pause on many things that were slated for March and April, big ticket items like Trevor Noah's India tour, pop singer Khalid's Free Spirit tour, Lauv's How I'm Feeling World Tour, which was part of the Summer Tour of Asia 2020. These are extraordinary times. They call for some pretty extraordinary responses. And I believe as a platform with the technology and the consumer base that we have, we did some pretty I would say things that we never imagined we'd do in the past, because as a category leader, we were pushing people to get out of home and watch entertainment. We were now saying exactly the opposite.
Right.
Stay safe, and we'll try and deliver entertainment in your homes.
You know, you're talking about delivering entertainment at people's homes, and you've also launched live events on your app, website, social media platforms as well. How are you looking to monetize those efforts?
So, Ruchi, I think there are two parts to it. One is the whole part where, as a company who has this huge base of consumers, it's time to actually be far more insightful, observe consumer behavior, and thanks to technology, again, we're able to tell what they're coming for, they're looking for, and therefore serve them in these times. So what we've done is we've done a few things. One is we've created a buzz feed, we've created a watch guide. These are all things to help consumers with finding entertainment that's safe and that can be sought at home. So all of this has really meant that we've been able to keep the community pretty engaged.
In terms of monetization, has BookMyShow been able to monetize these events? And also, the other fear is that after the initial buzz that a lot of these live streaming entertainment programs has created, once the novelty wears off, the interest may kind of wither away. So how do you deal with those dual challenges of monetization?
So, Ruchi, I think what you've been seeing this far is largely free content, and it's content in lockdown times. So you've seen artists and content creators operate from their home without the production that they used to. And therefore, it's the next best option given the situation that we're all in. We're all locked down in our respective spaces. I believe there'll be a phase post-lockdown where we will be, having access to safe studios, to technicians, help, production, etc., to up the ante on that experience. And as we come into that area, there'll be a new delivery of content. Delivery of content which will allow for monetization.
Let me get you on the big OTT versus theater debates. Where do you stand on that debate, with many production houses releasing their movies first on the OTT platform, even as cinema halls remain shuttered?
So Ruchi, I believe that will change is incomprehensible because the economics don't add up. The box office still delivers the chunk of revenues to any movie release, and therefore I think this is again an interim thing where some of the smaller producers or some of the production houses that don't have the ability to stay the course and need that cash flow, they need that money to come in, will will opt for that.
Right.
I see it as a very temporary thing. I see it especially in a country like India. People love their movies. People love going out for a movie. The whole experience is very, very special. It's a family experience. And we're going to bounce back from this temporary shift.
I want you to talk to us about the numbers because that's going to be very important.
No, so the short term, I can tell you, we're down to close to zero revenues. It's in the short term. How short that short term is, my fingers are crossed. I'm an optimist. I think
in terms of BookMyShow's contribution coming in from cinema halls, vis-a-vis, how much you've been able to, get from your latest efforts. How do those numbers really stack up?
We've been in that business for very, very long, and it's a habit that people come back for on a more frequent basis, and therefore it is 60 to 70% of our numbers come from there.
And in terms of, since you're talking about monetizing a lot of live streaming events, how much of this revenue loss will be offset by the live streaming monetization whenever that happens?
Like I said, Ruchi, we don't have any kind of numbers on that yet because we've been in a phase where the priority has not been revenue generation. The priority has been serving the consumer. The content offering has not been what the consumer has been used to. So no revenue models have been put into place. I believe coming out of this lockdown, we'll only see some things kicking in towards the later part of June.
Right. So in the last, say now the lockdown is over. So what is the plan that BookMyShow has for the next, say, 2 months?
So while you say lockdown is over, for us, it's not over yet. We're headquartered out of Bombay. We have a large operation in Delhi. So it's not yet normal. I think it's going to take a little while to get normal. But having said that, we have plans where we're planning for the return of live entertainment, and we don't foresee that before the last quarter of the year. But having said that, we just believe that this is an opportunity to come to probably fix some of the elements of even that live and make that commerce look far more attractive, given the fact that we may have challenges on numbers of people at venues and other revenue numbers being kind of depressed. Is there an opportunity on the cost side? And talking to artists, which is the main to venues, talking to production people to say, how do we come together to make the model far more far safer for the future? So that's one effort on the business as usual. Like I said, in the intervening period, what do we do digitally, and can we digitally make things work? And that's where we're looking at, is there an opportunity to kind of get into the space with partners and collaborators, say, can we create the new digital experience for the consumer? So to use an analogy, I think we all love to go out to eat to our favorite restaurant, but there are days when we say, I'm not in the mood, or I just want to chill at home, and that same food is ordered home. It's not the same experience, but it's the next best. And we hope that between now and and getting back to live, we'll be able to serve up the next best.
I want to understand from you that for consumers, once life goes back to normal, what is it going to, what is it that will be different? I'm sure, now we're talking about drive-in gigs and all these kind of things that are kind of catching up, at least abroad. But in India, how will things really be, very different in terms of watching your favorite artist playing, or for that matter, watching your favorite play? In terms of protocols, do you see significant changes coming in?
So Ruchi, to answer that question, I really believe that in the short term, all those protocols will be very, very important, because like yourselves, various other news channels and experts have been giving us advice from the really doomsday kind of stories to the really optimistic. And therefore, I think there's always a heightened anxiety in people before they feel 100% safe. So till the country gets herd immunity and news channels and experts stop talking about the fear of, I think there'll be a period where there'll be enough people who will be anxious. There'll be a government, there'll be authorities that are anxious. There'll be us who will be very anxious because the last thing we want to do is compromise the health or safety of our consumers. And therefore, there are SOPs being put in place. There are new documents being put in place on capacities, on protocols of venues, on testing, on disinfection, sanitizing, whatever you have. But I just believe that we're able to tide over this. And there's a vaccine, there's herd immunity, and the noise dies down. We will need to help people that we're doing everything that we can to keep you safe. So step out. But
and that is right.
We must know that inherently all of us love our entertainment, love social situations, love getting out of home, and we believe that you can't keep that feeling down.